So moving on, we have the final test flight. So the fly-off event will be in the September, and this is the basically the overall timeline of the event. The deadline is the maximum that we can allow is 13th of March. The participants should not expect any further extensions in the deadlines. So you have to register your team prior to the 13th March. So moving on, these are the deadlines for the design review, design reviews, and the fly-off events. And next, please. Okay, so who would be joining us in the competition? So the registration fee is only 5,000 rupees, and the competition is aimed at the undergraduate students. Maximum of 10 members are allowed per team. Let me clarify.
So I would like to add in here that the team members are strictly undergraduate students, right?
Okay.
And other than that, if you cannot find a faculty advisor, in that case, you may allot a postgrad student or a master student to be your academic lead or your faculty advisor, only in the case where you do not have a faculty advisor available, right? And other than that, as you can see, our minimum limit is of 5 people and the maximum limit is of 10 people as well.
On the event, only 10 members are allowed. So we also recommend you to have a team lead. And lastly, all team members must register for the free IMechE affiliation prior to entering the competition or making your team. Next, please. Okay, so what is store in it for you? Yes, Daniel.
So the engineering challenges that you face in this competition would be specific to your grooming. The engineering system approach allows you to have an engineering approach in the competition. Problem solving skills are essential to your career, and this competition would allow you to nourish them in a way that they normally wouldn't be. Then it comes to design. Even though R&D isn't a major part of the Pakistani industry, but designing is still a major part in a lot of sectors. However, uh, when you go to a university or an industry, the designing that you do there is quite limited. The parameters set for your growth are quite a lot. So in this competition, the designs that you would be making would be specific to you, the kind of designs that you want to make, and there aren't that many parameters stopping you from making the kind of designs you want to. Solution-based designs are more appreciable since they provide a solution for a certain problem or a solution that would be implementable. Then we have innovation. Innovation is key in this program since there would be a lot of teams competing. Many can have a similar idea, and to differentiate or to set yourself apart over there, the innovations that you bring in your design are essential. Then comes planning and teamwork. A single person cannot make or complete a team. I mean, a team is comprised of people, and you cannot rely on a single person to make the whole thing. Therefore, teamwork and planning are essential to this challenge. Since you'll be working with a team of 5 to 10 people that would be on ground, you'll be uh, uh, you'll be encouraged to coordinate with them in a way that you are able to maximize your output. Then we have autonomous operations. Now, the difference between normal drones and UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, is that unmanned aerial vehicles, as the name suggests, are autonomous, they're automatic. These drones can perform without human operation, although there might be help required when a drone is, let's say, in a situation which it was not supposed to operate in. So your drones must be able to operate uh, automatically and should not require human assistance in their flight, landing, and taking off. So the whole process from the start, taking off, traveling to set points, and coming back to the designated landing point should be automated. Then we come to our business plan and environmental impact. Now, these are the non-technical parts of the competition. Here you have to present your idea, how you can sell this design or this innovation to the actual industry, how it could be implemented in an actual agricultural sector or any other sector where it might be implementable, and the environmental impact. Now, since most industries and most FMCGs or other big companies are moving towards their zero carbon emission goals, it is encouraged that you design your drone or you at least uh, plan a design that can be environmentally friendly. It does not require too many carbon emissions, or the ultimate goal would be to reach zero carbon emissions, which is quite difficult, but going towards that ideal case is the key. So, uh, as uh, as as environmental friendly your drone can be, it would be much better. Now, the incentive we're providing, other than grooming, is the cash prize. We'll be announcing the cash prize shortly on our social media pages. For that, you'll be required to stay tuned on them. But there will be a cash prize for the team that comes first, the runner-up, and the second runner-up. If you have any questions, or if Aham, Raya, or Akib would like to add anything.
No, thank you. So, participants, it's now your time to ask for your queries. We are waiting your questions.
I'll be opening the
Uh,
chat for questions shortly.
All right, everyone. So, all of you had a lot of questions to ask us. We have been getting questions on our social media platforms as well, and even on our forums that we opened up. So, kindly list down your questions here. I remember one of the most common question was regarding both the stages, the virtual stage as well as the fly off stage. So, our timelines have been added here. If you could go back to the timeline, Daniel. All right. So from commencing from March to July, we will have the virtual stage, and from July to September, we will have the physical stage that begins the fly off stage, and towards September, you will have your on ground event by when you should be ready with your UAS system. If there's any questions regarding the modeling or the types of UAVs, you can ask those too.
I'd like to make a correction. The mics haven't been opened. We've opened the chat for questions. So if anyone has any questions, please open the chat and write your questions down.
सिमुलेशन आर लाइक नॉट एक्टिवली पार्ट ऑफ द सिमुलेशन बट ऑब्वियसली जो आपका डिज़ाइन है तो आपको उसको जस्टिफाई करना होगा सिमुलेशंस के थ्रू आपकी जो क्रिटिकल डिज़ाइन रिपोर्ट होगी उसके अंदर सिमुलेशंस पार्ट होंगी ऑब्वियसली वी विल बी जजिंग कि आपने कौन से आपने क्या क्राइटेरिया यूज़ किया है क्या एनालिसिस किया है अपने डिज़ाइन के ऊपर सिर्फ हमें डिज़ाइन मॉडल नहीं चाहिए उसके पीछे जो प्रायर कैलकुलेशंस एंड एनालिसिस है वो सब रिक्वायर्ड होगा तो यस सिमुलेशंस पार्ट होंगी कंपटीशन का भी और जजमेंट के अंदर भी उनको मार्क किया जाएगा। तो यस, सिमुलेशंस पार्ट होंगी। Okay, so next question is, can you please explain the difference between preliminary design and critical design review? Okay, so preliminary design stage के अंदर आप basically अपना एक जनरल कॉन्सेप्ट डिलीवर करोगे कि आप क्या किस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन किस यूएवी के ऊपर जाना चाहते हो और क्यों जाना चाहते हो, इसकी जस्टिफिकेशंस आप मेंशन करते हो। सिर्फ और सिर्फ कॉन्फ़िगरेशन और डिटेल आप यू डोंट मेंशन नंबर्स इन प्रीलिमिनरी डिज़ाइन, बट एट द क्रिटिकल डिज़ाइन स्टेज आप अपने सारे नंबर्स एंड कैलकुलेशंस शो करते हो, और सिर्फ इतना ही नहीं, आप अपने डिज़ाइन मॉडल्स प्लस उसके एनालिसिस और सारी कैलकुलेशंस शो करते हो क्रिटिकल डिज़ाइन के अंदर। सो दैट मीन्स आपके पास स्टिल चांस होता है कि आप फर्दर कुछ पैरामीटर्स के अंदर चेंजेस कर सको और अल्टरेशंस कर सको, बट क्रिटिकल डिज़ाइन रिपोर्ट के बाद आपके पास रूम नहीं होगा कि आप फर्दर कोई चेंज कर सको। वो आपका एक फाइनल मॉडल होता है। उसके बाद आपको सिर्फ वहाँ से डिज़ाइन की तरफ जाना होता है, आप उसके अंदर फर्दर अल्टरेशन नहीं कर सकते। तो फिलहाल ये है डिफरेंस दोनों स्टेजेस के अंदर। Is there any software compulsion for simulation that is explained? Uh, नो, यस, अगर आप फ्लाइट सिमुलेशन की बात करो तो यस, देयर इज अ कंपल्जन जो कि आपसे बस एक्सप्लेन हम यूज किया जाएगा। बट अगर आप एनालिसिस की बात करते हो तो फिर ऑब्वियसली आपके ऊपर है कि आप फ्यूजन 360 यूज कर सकते हो, एनसिस यूज कर सकते हो, सॉलिडवर्क्स यूज कर सकते हो, ये आपके ऊपर है। बट फ्लाइट सिमुलेशन के लिए यस, सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक्सप्लेन ही यूज होगा।
Achha, there is a question regarding the if mechanical engineers could join this. No, this competition is not only for mechanical engineers. You can join this competition if you're an undergraduate student in any field. तो लाजमी नहीं है IMechE की नाम से सुनने में लग रहा होता है कि सिर्फ मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर्स के लिए। However, आप इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियर हो, आप सॉफ्टवेयर में हो, आप केमिकल इंजीनियर हो, इंडस्ट्री इंजीनियर हो, you can opt for this as long as you're working, as long as you're studying in an undergraduate university. Second question.
Okay, question है, what about chassis? Can we acquire it from other sources or must we design it too? ओके, सो ये कंपल्जन है कि आपको डिज़ाइन आपका ओरिजिनल डिज़ाइन होना चाहिए, इंडिजिनस डिज़ाइन होना चाहिए, या आपको खुद डिज़ाइन करना है, आप कोई आउटसोर्स मॉडल नहीं उठा सकते, और अगर आप उठाते तो ऑब्वियसली इट विल बी पेनलाइज्ड। सो यस, आपका कॉन्सेप्ट एंड डिज़ाइन प्योरली ओरिजिनल होना चाहिए। ओके, सो व्हाट आर द मिशंस एंड व्हेन दे विल बी शेयर्ड? सो मिशंस की डिटेल्स एंड टास्क ये सब आपको रूल बुक के अंदर मिल जाएंगे। रूल बुक विल बी शेयर्ड प्रायर टू क्लोजिंग ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन। तो मतलब रजिस्ट्रेशन को क्लोजिंग से पहले आपके पास रूल बुक होगी, तो यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट दैट। आप पहले सारे मिशंस एंड पूरे कंपटीशन की कम्प्लेक्सिटी पढ़ सकते हो, उसके बाद आप अपना डिसीजन ले सकते हो।
So there's a question regarding the autonomous drone. Your drone should be autonomous, yes, from the start taking off. It should automatically take off, it should automatically land on the designated point, and it should also be able to detect the target. That is part of the challenge. What are the missions and when will they be shared? So as explained previously, the mission is to solve the locust problem in Pakistan, specific to the agricultural sector. The drones are required to observe or be able to identify locust swarms and then implement a solution which involves spraying pesticides in certain locations.
ओके, तो कंसर्न रेज किया गया था कि यूएवी टाइप्स के हवाले से, तो ये क्लियर कर दूं कि हमने जो यूएवी की टाइप्स हैं वो रिस्ट्रिक्टेड नहीं है, लिमिटेड नहीं है, और ये ओपन है कि आपके ऊपर कि आप सॉर्ट ऑफ आप फिक्स विंग की तरफ भी जा सकते हो, आप हेलीकॉप्टर के ऊपर भी जा सकते हो, आप क्वाड के ऊपर भी जा सकते हो। मोरओवर आप टेक ऑफ के लिए आप कोई भी मैकेनिज्म वीटॉल इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो, आप रनवे इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो, ये आपके ऊपर है। ये चीज़ लिमिटेड नहीं है फिलहाल हमारे कॉम्पिटिशन के अंदर, तो इट्स ओपन फॉर न्यू डिज़ाइन एंड इनोवेशंस।
Is there only credit for how
Okay,
much
so would
innovation?
we provided data to train our computer version का machine learning model? Okay, so ये आपके ऊपर है कि आप अपने मॉडल को जो स्प्रिंग के ऊपर मॉडल बनाते हो उसको किस तरह ट्रेन करते हो, लेकिन ऑब्वियसली हम आपको एक फ्लाइट प्लान देंगे, फ्लाइट कंडीशंस देंगे जिसके ऊपर हम लोग फ्लाइट सिमुलेट करके देखेंगे आपके मॉडल को। तो ऑब्वियसली आप उस फ्लाइट कंडीशन फ्लाइट प्लान को यूज करते हो अपने मॉडल को ट्रेन कर सकते हो। तो यस, आपके पास एक जनरल आइडिया होगा कि हम हमारे फ्लाइट प्लान और फ्लाइट कंडीशंस क्या हैं, तो उसके हिसाब से आप अपने मॉडल को ट्रेन कर सकते हो और डेवलप कर सकते हो।
Is there only credit for how much innovative and impactful the design of the cost incurring? Raya, could you answer this question? I think the answer would be that yes, being a cost-effective solution is also viable as long as it is implementable.
एस्पेक्ट्स को कंसीडर करना पड़ेगा।
So there was a question, can the timelines be changed? Well, we're sorry, we took a lot of factors. There were a lot of factors in play, and we had to, make the timelines around all of the universities in Pakistan. So the current timeline that we shared, that is the timeline. For now, 13 March is being strictly followed as registration, and uske baad, even if you have finals in March, you have to submit the first report in April. So I think that's ample amount of time for you to work on that as well. There was another question. Can we add members from other universities? Yes, you can add members from other universities, but make sure they're all undergraduate students, right? Because this competition is only for undergraduate students. Other than that, if you have a team advisor, that can be either your faculty teachers or a master's postgrad student. That's up to you then. Will it be a physical model of drone that we have to make or just soft model? Okay, so there's two stages that we have. The first is the virtual stage, right? Virtual may obviously you have to submit your explain models and your CAD models as well. In that is obviously not physical. But the thing is, the first stage, that is the virtual stage, that is for you to reach the final, you have to clear that stage, right? So you have to make sure that your design is viable and make sure that it is good enough to clear the stage and go on to the physical stage as well. Once you clear to the physical stage, the few teams that we will then move on to the physical stage, the fly-off stage, they will have to then make and work on their models as well. The rules will be shared with you guys soon, coming week May. We will try our best to share them as soon as we can. And what else do we have? Or how much? Okay. Credit wise, I think Arham explained it as well. We have a full scoring sheet. In that, there are different factors that are in play: innovative, environmental friendly. Mainly, the scoring is also going to depend on your models and your reports, right? That is part of the scoring as well. So, innovative is a part of it, but obviously, it is like some percentage of the overall grading. Can one team consist of members from more than one university? Yeah, I replied to that already. Yes, you can have team members from different universities. Also, in one team, you can have different students from different engineering backgrounds. They can be electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, software engineers, environmental engineers, you name it. If you want, you can also have students from other disciplines. Since we have a business proposal that will have different scoring as well, and that will be online. So in that, you will have to present your particular UAV and then explain its market value and what sort of, how it can benefit Pakistani industries currently. So you can also add non-engineering students in your team, but do keep in mind that the limit for your team is 10 people only, and the minimum amount of people you have is five, right? So 5 to 10 people, not more, not less than that. So, are there any more questions, or is there anything that we may have missed? Aham, is there anything you would like to elaborate on?
नो, ऐसा कुछ ध्यान में नहीं।
Also, so regarding the IMechE membership, this is something that you'll find on the website. You'll have to go to the actual IMechE UK website where you'll find the application form. The link will be provided in the chat as well. And if you could elaborate on that, how members can become part of the IMechE committee.
Right. Meanwhile, Arham, there's a question that hasn't been answered. Could you please clarify that as well? Are we allowed to use the off-the-shelf items and all?
Which one? Can you please read it out?
Okay. Okay, so the question is, are we allowed to use off-the-shelf flight controllers in commercial autopilots?
Yes, obviously you can use off the shelf controllers. इसमें कोई हमारा लिमिट नहीं है. आप controllers यूज कर सकते हो और ऑटो पायलट्स भी. जैसे आडू पायलट है आपके पास तो अब यूज कर सकते हो. यस, कोई लिमिटेशन नहीं है.
Obviously, we want this event to be easy for you guys. I mean, not that difficult for you guys. So I think making your own flight controller would be another complex thing. If you can do that in the given time frame, that is also up to you. But teams usually prefer to use off-the-shelf items for this. Right. So I just want to elaborate on the point that the deadline is on 13th March. We have a strict timeline to follow as well. So please make sure to send in your registrations before that, along with the particular payment that has been asked as well. If you have any more questions after this session, you can email them to us on our Gmail account. Daniel, can you please send in the link for the participants pack?
Yeah, send it.
Okay, so Daniel will be dropping down the link for the participants pack that has information on how you can become a member, elite member. Yes, payment details are in the form. You can send an online bank draft as well, and then you have to attach your screenshot along with the form. That is mandatory. Else is required along with the name of the. Kindly open the registration form. The form is also there is. Daniel, kindly open the last page of the slide. There.
और कहीं भी अगर आप फंसते हो या आपको गाइडेंस की या किसी टेक्निकल गाइडेंस की ओवरव्यू की जरूरत होती है तो हमारी टेक्निकल टीम विल ऑलवेज बी देयर. हम लोग आपके साथ कांटेक्ट में होंगे. चाहे आप ईमेल के थ्रू कांटेक्ट कर सकते हो, कोई आप हम ऑनलाइन सेशन स्केड्यूल कर सकते हैं. तो वी विल बी सपोर्टिंग यू थ्रू आउट दिस कॉम्पिटिशन. सो ऐसा नहीं कि अगर आपको कोई स्टेज के अंदर मसला है तो हम यू विल बी ऑन योर ओन. ऐसा नहीं है. हम आपको सपोर्ट करेंगे एंड वी विल बी देयर फॉर यू. सो इस चीज़ से घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है. एंड मोर ओवर रजिस्ट्रेशन के बाद आपको एक सॉर्ट ऑफ सपोर्ट पैकेज मिलेगा जिसके अंदर आपको इस नए सॉफ्टवेयर के बारे में सब कुछ लिंक्स एंड रिसोर्सेज मिल जाएंगी जिससे आप यू विल बी रेडी टू किक स्टार्ट. सो यस, इससे नए सॉफ्टवेयर से आप लोगों को रुकने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. इसका पार्ट बने और इससे सीख सकते हैं आप.
So guys, this is the QR code. You can scan it and you will be directly taken to the form where you can see कि जो भी आपको information required होगी वो form में लिखी हुई है तो आप वो जो है promptly fill in कर. Okay, Daniel, have you sent in the link? And if you do not have any more questions, actually, we can still take in more questions if you guys have. We do have time till 6 o'clock, so we will be around. If you guys have any more questions, you can keep asking them in the form, in the chat.
Right, question: registration payment can be sent online or not? Or secondly, for registration, what else is required along with the name of team members? You can
हाँ
take
ये
this
मैंने
further.
I address this question. आप registration form के लिए जो भी required है आप जाएं इस QR code पे जाएं सही है और आपका form खुल जाएगा उसमें फिर लिखा हुआ है कि क्या क्या आपको ज़रूरी है. इसके अलावा money yes it can be transferred from your bank apps from your phones and all. वो सारी information भी form में डाली हुई है कि किस account पे भेजना है किस number पे भेजना है and all. तो आप लोग कर सकते हो online transfer कर सकते हो. Yes, bank. Other than that, as Arham mentioned, we are partnering with fellow UAV companies as well. So do not worry and do not get scared. We have we will give you ample amount of support as much as you guys want. हम लोग sessions भी कर लेंगे, mentoring sessions भी कर लेंगे आप लोगों के साथ. We can also talk about the feasibility and the different designs that you guys can go for, and a few other sessions that we have in mind. तो वो भी होता रहेगा. So you will have all of our support to make whatever you want, since the purpose of this competition is to impart knowledge among the undergraduate students of Pakistan, specifically regarding UAVs. Also, for the people joining the session right now, you guys are late, and unfortunately, you have missed the entire session. But if you have any questions, we will cater to those. So please
answer till 6. For registrations, what else is required? So there's an answer required for another a previous question again. Raya, could you answer that?
Okay, all those who are leaving, thank you for joining the session. The ones who are joining right now, and the question. Okay, so for the registration form, I mentioned already that आप फॉर्म खोल के देख लें प्लीज़. उसमें जो भी चाहिए वो मांगा हुआ है, एंड नहीं आपकी सिर्फ डिटेल्स चाहिए फॉर्म में. आपका नाम, आपकी कॉन्टैक्ट डिटेल्स चाहिए, आपके फैकल्टी एडवाइज़र का नाम एज वेल, and their contact probably as well. सही है. So that along with the payment. So this is just the step for registrations. We do not require other information from you guys. तो आप फॉर्म खोल के देख लें, उसमें जो भी मांगा हुआ है वो आपको पता चल जाएगा.
So there's a question regarding by someone. I am currently in first semester of mechanical engineering, but can be a part of the team. देखें इस क्वेश्चन का ये आंसर होगा कि you'll have to find people that you can work with within your university or outside university and other universities, friends, etc., who can work alongside you on this project. Now,
And Arham, if you can answer to this as well.
वेल जैसे मैंने बताया कि एक बार आप क्रिटिकल डिज़ाइन रिपोर्ट आप सबमिट करा दोगे, उसके बाद आप और डिज़ाइन ऑल्ट्रेशन नहीं कर सकते. क्रिटिकल डिज़ाइन रिपोर्ट के बाद जब आप अपना एक्सप्लेन मॉडल और डिज़ाइन सबमिट करवाओगे तो वो एग्जैक्टली मैच होना चाहिए जो आपने क्रिटिकल डिज़ाइन रिपोर्ट में सबमिट करा है. तो ऑब्वियसली प्रीलिमिनरी डिज़ाइन सबमिशन के बाद आपके पास चेंजेस आप जितनी ऑल्ट्रेशन करना चाहो कर सकते हो, लेकिन एक बार आपने क्रिटिकल डिज़ाइन रिपोर्ट सबमिट करा दी तो ऑब्वियसली यू डोंट हैव एनी further chance to make any alteration. So yes, CDR is the final point.
There's also a query about someone being upset, not being too sure about themselves since they do not have, as they mentioned, they're in their first semester and they do not have any knowledge about software and other things that we are talking about. So Arham, do you have any advice for him?
Sorry, I didn't listen. Can you please repeat?
हमारे पास एक पार्टिसिपेंट है एंड वो अभी अपने फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में है मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग के, एंड दे आर बिट अप्रीहेंसिव क्योंकि they have stated that they don't have knowledge regarding the platforms and the softwares abhi. So can they still be part of the team and can they still take part in the competition?
Yes, obviously you can participate, you can be a part of the team, but obviously अभी ऐसा देख लो कि आप किसी ऐसे लोग के साथ टीम मेंबर से लिंक हो जाओ जो इनका कोई प्रायर एक्सपीरियंस है या कोई आपका सीनियर है, उसको आप टीम के अंदर यूज कर सकते हो। तो इस तरह की आप मिक्स स्किल्स और एक्सपीरियंस का टीम बना सकते हो। जरूरी नहीं कि हर मेंबर को सारी नॉलेज हो, तो आप किसी ऐसी अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर अपने सीनियर्स का कोई ऐसी टीम है जो पार्टिसिपेट करिए, आप उसका पार्ट बन सकते हो, कोई ऐसी लिमिटेशन नहीं है। अगर आप प्योरली सिर्फ अपने ही बैच की टीम बना चाहते हो जो जिसके पास किसी को एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, तो ऑब्वियसली कोई लिमिटेशन तो नहीं है, आप कर सकते हो, लेकिन आपको ज़्यादा टाइम एंड एफर्ट यूज करनी पड़ेगी। सपोर्ट हम करेंगे, बिल्कुल करेंगे, जो भी आपकी क्वेरीज हैं या कोई कहीं पे भी आपको ज़रूरत पड़ती है, लेकिन स्टिल आपको ज़्यादा एफर्ट्स पुटिंग करनी पड़ेंगी क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली इसकी जो सबमिशंस हैं उसके अंदर आपके पास सॉफ्टवेयर डेडिकेटेड स्किल्स चाहिए, लाइक एक्सपीरियंस सॉलिड वर्क्स। तो उस स्टेज के अंदर आपको क्या नाम है, आपको चाहिए होंगे मतलब स्किल्स की ज़रूरत होगी, और अगर आपके पास नहीं है तो आप यू विल बी इन ट्रबल। सो बेहतर होगा कि आप एक किसी ऐसे जो एक्सपीरियंस या स्किल्ड मेंबर को अपने टीम का पार्ट बनाओ, तो ज़्यादा बेहतर है। प्योरली अपने बैच की बनाओगे तो यू विल बी इन ट्रबल अलोंग द वे। बैकग्राउंड हो और प्लस इलेक्ट्रिकल सॉफ्टवेयर का भी बैकग्राउंड हो, तो ऐसा ना हो कि प्योरली अगर आप मैकेनिकल पूरी टीम बना लोगे तो मुमकिन है कि अगर आप सिर्फ सॉफ्टवेयर स्टेज के ऊपर सिमुलेशन फ्लावर स्टेज के अंदर आप क्वालिफाई करते हो, तो आपके पास वहाँ पे सॉफ्टवेयर एंड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का बैकग्राउंड चाहिए होगा, तब आप लोग मसले में आ सकते हो। और अगर प्योरली अगर आप इलेक्ट्रिकल बैकग्राउंड के लोग बना लेते हो, टीम बना लेते हो, तो ऑब्वियसली आप लोग डिजाइनिंग के अंदर स्टेज के अंदर आप लोग मसले में आ सकते हो। तो बेहतर है कि अपनी जब टीम बनाए तो डिफरेंट बैकग्राउंड्स के लोगों को अपनी टीम का पार्ट बनाए। प्योरली बिल्कुल किसी एक फील्ड से लोग अगर लेंगे तो आपके पास किसी ना किसी स्टेज के अंदर आपको जाके मुश्किल होगी।
So we're reaching the end of our session. To anyone, since most of the questions have been answered within the time span we had, we'll be ending the session now.
Allah Hafiz.
Love everyone. Thank you for coming. If you have further questions, please email us or contact us on our social media profiles as well. You can follow us for more updates over there.